Hi, everyone, and welcome to another Monday. I saw this little puppy joke and I thought it was kind of cute. It says, Grrr, Monday again. Although I will tell you, I look forward to Mondays and I look forward to teaching math. So hopefully you don't feel like this dog and you're enjoying this. And the dog's cute, but let's start with a joke. And they have to be dog jokes this week. So the first one is this. Why is Scooby Doo a bad dancer? Well, he has two left feet. How about this one? Why did the dog sit next to the fire? Well, he wanted to be a hot dog, of course. So, I hope you enjoyed those. Let's go ahead and let's get down to business now. So, last week you finished a chapter, and this week we're going to go ahead and hopefully we can find Mrs. Swin. There we go. This week we're going to go ahead and start a new chapter. And the chapter we're going to work on now is 14. And I love this chapter because it deals a lot with geometry. And so we're going to first go over a little bit of vocab. I'm going to go through this real quick because you'll have these same words in each of your lessons. But I want you to be familiar with them. You may have heard these terms from last year, or you may have also heard these terms from IXL. An angle. An angle is the measurement of two lines. So it's going to be right here. That's considered the angle. An attribute is when is the characteristics of a shape or of something. So in this case, they're saying the attribute of this rectangle is it has four right angles. Endpoint is simply that. I represent it by my fist. These are endpoints. Hexagon, I say the secret word or the secret letter on hexagon is the X, because X means it's also used in six. A hexagon has six sides. Octagon is like an octopus. It has 8 sides. Parallel are the train tracks. They are the lines that'll never ever meet. They have endpoints that they can go on and they have the same distance and they'll never ever intersect or come together. A parallelogram. I always say it reminds me of a rectangle somebody just kind of pushed it on its side. A pentagon has 5 sides. You'll have the term polygon. Now, a polygon is something that would be a shape that has only straight lines and they're all connected. It can't be something open. It's got to be a connected shape. Quadrilateral. Quad means 4. Anytime you see that prefix, it means 4. So a quadrilateral is going to be any shape that has 4 sides. A ray always reminds me of a ray of sunshine. It has an endpoint and it can go on forever. So there's an arrow on the opposite end. Rectangle, we have parallel sides on both the horizontal and the vertical. The rhombus, again, kind of looks like a square tipped over, tilted. A right angle, you'll hear a lot about, and not maybe in this chapter, but also when you do 4th grade math. A right angle is when you have a line that they call perpendicular. It's straight and it forms a perfect square here. That's a right angle. A right triangle is going to be simply a triangle with 3 sides, but the one side is going to have a right angle. Square, 4 equal sides. Trapezoid, to me, this always looks like a trap, and you may have heard me share this before. If you're unsure, it's got 4 sides, but it can look like a trap. So here's the handle, and here's the little bunny that's trapped inside. Triangle has 3 sides and a vertex. The vertex is going to be the point in which my 2 rays meet. So this is a vertex. So now let's go on to our lesson 1. I need for you to turn to page 833. On 833, lesson 1, they start by talking about some definitions. An angle is made when two rays share the same endpoint. And we just showed that with the vocab cards. A ray is a part of a line that has one endpoint and it extends in one direction without ending. So here they're showing a ray. Here they're showing a ray. An endpoint is the point at the beginning of a ray, which we illustrate with a point. And the shared endpoint, so this ray and this ray, they're sharing the endpoint, which is called the vertex. If we were to build this using a geoboard to explore angles, simply know a right angle. If I put my rubber bands along all four sides, that this would be my right angle. It would be what's formed in the corner. I'm going to let you turn the page to the next side. So here they have the illustration is showing a rubber band to make a large triangle. Now in this case, if I took an index card and I was comparing my shapes, I know this is not a right angle, but there is an angle that it is less than a right angle. This isn't shown here, but I am going to share it with you because you guys are so smart. But remember, when you have something that's less than a right angle, I always say, it's so cute. And that's what we're going to call it. If it's less than a right angle, it's called an acute angle. So we'll show those terms at a later time, or you'll hear about that in 4th grade. But you can know about it now, too. Down below, it says, let's go back up here. How many angles in this triangle are less than a right angle? Well, I have an angle here that's less, an angle here that's less, and the angle here. So you have 3 angles that are less than a right angle. Using a rubber band to create a large hexagon, which means I need to have 6 sides on a geoboard that is similar to the yellow pattern block. They're showing my hexagon, and again, they're showing the index card. There are no right angles in this case, but there are angles that are greater than. And when you have, if this is a right angle, and I have something that is greater than a right angle, so it's larger, that's called an obtuse. And I always say, open your belly or open your belt. It's an obtuse. It's really big. An obtuse is a right angle. Who ate too many donuts? So obtuse and acute. In this case, the hexagon has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The hexagon has 6 angles, all of which are obtuse angles. Down below, it says, can a triangle have 2 right angles? Well, I like to draw pictures, so I'm going to first draw a picture of a triangle that has a right angle. So right here was my right angle in this case. But if I have a triangle, there's no other way you can create a triangle with more than one right angle. Give a real world example of a right angle. Look around your house and there's a million things that have right angles. So anything that's going to have an angle that is, like I said, considered perpendicular. Let's go to the next page. On the next page, it says practice it. They want us to tell whether each angle shown is a right angle, less than a right angle, or greater than a right angle. Use an index card if needed. So if you're not sure, If you don't have an index card, you can always use a piece of paper. But let's go ahead and take a look. If I'm looking at the angle between the starfish here, I would say that this is not a right angle. So this is going to be kind of considered less than. I'm going to use the less than sign. In the sail, they're showing, and this is the universal sign of a right angle. So I can say this is a right angle and write the word right. I want you to take a look at the rest of your worksheet, and you'll write down if this is less than, greater than, or a right angle. And I'm going to challenge you. If it is less than, write the word acute. If it's greater than, write the word obtuse that we spelled on the other page. Go that extra step. Extend yourself. Down below, again, this is going to be greater than a normal right angle. So this is an obtuse, or you can put greater than. On the next page, we have our problem solving, and they have this. Apply it. Claudio noticed that the sides of his $1 bill formed angles. Tell whether the angles are right angles, less than right angles, or greater than right angles. If I take a look, or if I had my index card, I could simply take a look at, what's going on here? What's going on here? And tell me if these are right angles, less than, or greater than. Mrs. Werzer drew 4 shapes on the board. Circle the shape that appears to have one or more right angles. So take a look. There is only one shape that has more than one right angle. Below it says draw 3 shapes, each showing a different type of angle. 3 shapes. Well, we've talked about 3 angles. We've talked about drawing a shape that would be a right angle. We could go less than a right angle, which would be my acute. And we could do a larger angle. So be creative and draw 3 shapes. I'll give you a hint. You can look right above and probably get a pretty good idea of a shape to draw. Down below on 14, circle the 2 angles in the figure to the right that are greater than a right. If this is a right angle, you need to be looking for angles that are greater than that. So I need to find an angle that's going to be greater than the blue. How can you tell if an angle is right? The secret word there is perpendicular. Perpendicular lines mean that they're straight up and down. They make a right angle, so you can always tell a right angle. Or if you noticed from above, how can I tell of a right angle? Actually, it's on the other page. If you take a look, anytime you see a small square in your angle, that's going to designate that, hey, bing, 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 you have a right angle there. All right, let's go back. Your homework for tonight is nothing's going to stump you. You don't need anything special. So go ahead and do a good job on it and have a wonderful Monday. Bye-bye, everyone.